So every 6 months, my daily runner Peugeot 405 becomes a cannibal. You'll see in previous videos, I've run this on clean engine oil, I've run it on cooking oil, waste cooking oil, and now we're going to be running it on waste engine oil. This is a little bit trickier because the waste engine oil has a lot of dirt in it. To prevent that, I do have a 2-stage filtering system, which I'll be showing you later in the video. Part of it I can do here in my workshop, and the other part I have a setup already set up ready to go in my garage at home. First thing to do is get this up in the air, drain the engine oil, change the oil filter, and I'll also pull the fuel filter out and show you what 6 months of running on cooking oil looks like. This little adapter sits in my sump plug, 19mm spanner over the end of it. That's tight, so all I'm going to do at the moment is just loosen it off. I have found a container. It's an oil jug that we used to use, we don't actually use these anymore, for doing customers' cars, and I think I might just lift that up. Like that. That's pretty black. I've obviously warmed the engine up. Let's put that on the floor, shall we? Right, there's our jug. We've got about 4 litres or so of old dirty engine oil. So, stage 1, we've got our fairly empty oil can. I've actually mixed what was left in there. There's about a litre left, and I've put it in the fuel tank. My stage 1 is basically a rag folded in half to double up its layers into a funnel, and I'm not sure this is going to do a great deal if I'm perfectly honest, but any large chunks, this should catch most of it. Stage 2 is obviously a lot finer, and all I'm going to do is carefully pour it in here. And it will take a while to filter through. What I normally do, if I'm perfectly honest, I do put all of this into a 20-litre jug. I'll show you the setup when I'm at home. Yeah, it's a lot quicker than this, but the fact that it is going through so slow just shows that it should do a fairly good job at filtering. I will continue with this, and then we'll go take this bottle home and we'll go through stage 2. Right, so I'm here doing a service on my Peugeot, and I thought while I'm here, I'll just check, see what 6 months of life running on cooking oil does to your fuel filter. Oh, a bit of spillage there. Oh. Right. So I'll be perfectly honest, I have also been running it with a little bit of engine oil, hence the colour. But I was fully expecting to see sludge in here, and to be honest, there's not. It's all fairly clean engine oil and cooking oil mix. So it's been running on cooking oil for most of the time. The last couple of batches, it's had some waste engine oil in it as well, hence the colour. But even on the bottom, really, there's no real sediment. I shall keep going for another 6 months. So this is my completely messy garage. This will be the home for the midget once we get a garden shed. Over here though, you'll see my little setup. So I have a similar filtering system to what I was showing you earlier with the jug. Basically, I tie a rag underneath the bottom of the cap. You'll see I've cut a bit out. Pour on its side. That goes into, or trickles into, this number 1 filtering jug, if you like. That then gets put into my number 2 filtering system, which I'm going to do now. You'll see there's already some oil in there, but that, I'll do this one-handed. It's going to end in tears, but you can see there's the Peugeot's internal fluids, engine oil. Some people have asked what happens in terms of exhaust. Do you get a lot of smoke? There is some smoke, I'll be honest. I'll upload a YouTube short of it actually, probably in a couple of weeks once this has had a chance to get through the system a bit. But it's you get a light haze, I'd say. if you leave it idling for a couple of minutes. But yeah, it's not too bad. The smell's not too bad. I mean, it doesn't smell great, but then again, nor does diesel. So I'll put the cap back on there so I don't. So that's now, as you can see, raised the level. I do have some other oil I want to put in as well. So I'm going to put all of that in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these jump leads to my battery. I'll just charge this, charge that at work. And you'll see here I've got a small electric pump. Now, actually, if I show you now, let's hook up the battery. We have a little electric pump. It pumps into this filter housing, which has a Bosch filter, which I've just remembered I actually want to change. It's been on there for about 6 months, so probably is about time that got changed, because that'll be worse than the fuel filter on the Peugeot, because it's what's collecting most of the muck. Yeah, it goes into a Bosch filter there, goes into this barrel. Now, when the barrel's full up, what we do is we mix it with some petrol, normally a 10-ish% mix. It's a bit cold here at the moment, so I might do a little bit more just to thin it out a bit more. I was quite fortunate. I managed to, I had a customer come in who had somehow put half a tank of diesel into his petrol car, which I don't know about in America or anywhere else in the world, but in the UK it's very hard to do because the nozzles are different sizes. A diesel pump nozzle is bigger. Apparently he held it up, realised it didn't fit, and just held it up to the nozzle and carried on filling. So I've got 45 litres of a 50% diesel, 50% petrol mix. So I can afford to go a little bit thinner. I should be able to afford to go a bit thinner, a little bit of a stronger quantity mix. So yeah, I'll mix it in that barrel. Down here I've made a kind of like a paint mixer, stirrer kind of thing, which as you can see has got horrendously bent out shape, but does still work pretty bloody well. That does a good job at blending it all. And then put it into a 20-litre AdBlue tank that I've got down in the corner there, which has a nice funnel on it, makes it easier to pour in the tank, and then we're good to go. I go through about 20 litres a week, do about 150 miles a week. So I'll let someone else work that out and maybe comment below what my fuel consumption is. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Just remember, if you are going to do this yourself, please make sure you do it with a car that's got mechanical diesel injection. Don't do it in anything that's common rail, because it won't work. You'll have major problems. If you're not sure, don't do it. So yeah, subscribe, like the video. I'll see you next time.